one team. It all starts tonight, 4:30 Eastern.
Brandon's got a lot
Pacific
of teams now.
On Fox. Brandon's got a lot of teams now.
Seahawks,
this is
Titans,
also available
Steelers, Bills.
on NFL Network.
I mean, here we go.
Amazon Prime.
Perfect segue,
Four things
Jenna.
first. Go ahead, Brandon.
Well, yeah, talking about my teams, it's another one of my teams because I talked about them to preview this season, okay? What did LeBron James say when he won his 4th title? He
wants
said,
his damn respect.
I want my damn respect. So put some respect on my name because I want my respect as well. Look at my preseason predictions. Let's take a look at it. When I chose the Seattle Seahawks, everybody chose the Dallas Cowboys and laughed at me. When I talked about the Pittsburgh Steelers making it to the Super Bowl, everybody said Big Ben's noodle arm. And then when I talked about the Tennessee Titans, everybody said, oh, that was a Cinderella of a year last year. And then my dark horse, the Colts. They're up and down, but they're still 4-2.
Good, man.
This is what you call some great predictions right here. Put some respect on my name, Nick.
If I do say so myself.
I won't.
A celebration gone wrong, Wilds.
Okay, look, Cody Bellinger hits a home run, Dodgers going to the World Series. They do this new, Bash Brothers thing way too aggressively. Maybe it's because they're so excited. Maybe it's because they don't want to do high fives. COVID, let's be, safe, wash our hands. Cody Bellinger's like, my shoulder. So you can't do this anymore. You can't aggressively do the Canseco McGuire. What I would recommend, you could still do pretty aggressively, is what I'm calling the Vince Carter dunk contest rim dunk, where you can put your arm in the rim. That's what you can do. You gotta lock arms like that, almost like you're how you go down the aisle when you're getting married. You can do that. Less
the honey dip.
Yeah. More sort of elbow joint. That's the solution. Is you do it as hard as you want, and won't get injured.
Yes, Wilds. A-Rod's touchdown dance, Nick.
Yeah, so we just talked about this. I'm pro celebration, but I'm just pro consistency in media. And there is going to be more controversy today on shows like this about Odell Beckham Jr. taking off his cleats than Aaron Rodgers giving us a window into his bedroom. And I don't mind either, but it is at least intriguing. And by the way, this was a premature celebration, not just because they lost, but he didn't actually score a touchdown. And can you imagine, because he was down at the 1, if they had flagged him for this, and then all of a sudden it's 1st and goal from the 16, which was on the board. So I love Aaron, and I don't mind this stuff, but I just wish there was a little more consistency in some of this coverage, Jenna.
All right, I got a nice heartwarming story. Tua Tagovailoa made his NFL debut yesterday, almost a year after he suffered that near career-ending hip injury. Fights his way all the way back, gets into a blowout Dolphins win over the Jets. 2 passes, 2 completions. The crowd was thrilled for him. Ryan Fitzpatrick was thrilled for him. It was an absolutely fantastic moment. But his folks, his parents, his family, they didn't see him in person, and they always do. So after the game, exactly where he ended his last drive, kept his uniform on, everything, walks out to midfield, sits down, takes his phone, FaceTimes his folks. He says, I want you to see and feel and experience exactly what I did today. So he FaceTimes the moment, because we work our whole lives to achieve our dream and then we forget about it. We're on to something else. Tua worked to achieve his dream to get to the NFL, plus that whole comeback from hip surgery. And there he was yesterday. I was so heartwarmed by the story, and it was so nice that he was able to share that with the league and his teammates, and then obviously his family as well. Great story. All right, let's head to New England now. Another result nobody saw coming. Patriots offense almost non-existent in this one. None of Cam Newton's top targets could get open. Hall of Famer Julian Edelman, just 2 catches for 8 yards. Tough day for him. As for Cam, 3 turnovers on the day as the Patriots lose, and they drop below 500 for the first time this late in the season since way back in 2002. Here's Cam Newton after the loss.
Obviously, the performance today, it showed a lot of, much needed. The time off showed, but yet, like I said, I have to be better, and I will be better.
Mike Vick back with us. Wilds. Offense was bad. Fashion was good, as always, with him. Should Pats fans be worried about this loss to the Broncos yesterday by the Patriots, the one that now drops them to below 500, Mike?
Okay, Jenna, we know drops below 500.
No, I don't think they should be worried at all.
I had to mention it 3 times, Wilds. Sorry, go ahead, Mike.
I think Cam is still in total control, but I think this is a testament to how important practice is throughout the week.
Yes.
And I don't think Cam was able to practice full throttle for the last week and a half or get the first team reps throwing to his guys and running the offense in practice as if he were running in the game. I think that had them stymied a little bit, and it showed at times. And, you know, you look at the Denver Broncos team and you look at them on the schedule and you look at where they've come from and where they're sitting, and you think, oh, I can just go out here and just beat this team. But it's not the case. You know, those guys are, you know, getting reps throughout the week. They're studying, you know, they're professionals just like everybody else. And I really think that Cam not having an opportunity to be out there and get the reps with the first team, you know, didn't help the game yesterday and didn't help the team overall, you know, even the offense get into a rhythm and be able to get comfortable in this game to make the plays that they know that they can make.
Okay. As the resident Patriots fan, I'm going to do 3 things. And I haven't done this on the show. First of all, I'm going to just do a straight-up character assassination. Then I'm going to tell you what I'm not worried about. Then I'm going to tell you what I am worried about. So first up, the character assassination. We all just need to admit it. Zoom is terrible. It's terrible if you work in meetings or just in an office. It's really terrible if you work on a football team. The bloom is off the roof. Oh, look at Zoom. I can work from my kitchen. This is easy. Why do we go to offices? Well, I don't never need to go to my office. Zoom is the worst. Am I on mute? Am I not on mute? It's bad for schools. It's bad for everything. So Zoom, I know you had all like the great press, like, I'm the CEO of Zoom. Look at me. It's free. Don't worry about it. We're not listening to your conversations and selling them in the future. No. Zoom's the worst. Obviously, if you're practicing over football, it's not going to work, and you could probably lose a game. Other thing I'm not worried about, that's the character assassination. Thing I'm not worried about, hey, the defense. Denver Broncos didn't score a touchdown. We lost on a bunch of field goals. Stephen Gilmore looked great. We look fine. We're totally fine on defense, and I just saw a great Steelers defense win a game. I just saw a great Bucs defense win a game. So I'm not worried about the Patriots because we also have a great defense. The thing I'm a little bit worried about, Nick, and I'll be honest with you, is Hall of Famer Julian Edelman. Since that Seahawks game, his bad knee started acting up. He's got 2 catches for 8 yards, as Jenna nicely mentioned. Also, went 2 for 2 from the old, where'd he go again? I forgot where he went. Oh, 2 for 2 and 38 yards. Pass. So he can still sling it. There you go. So I think we'll be fine. I'm worried about Julian Edelman. I'm not worried about Cam. Once we can practice and get off the Zoom calls, I think the Patriots will be fine.
Okay, so a couple things.
I mean, so
I wouldn't panic, Brandon, but Jets, Bengals, Texans, Jags, Chargers.
Oof.
That's the complete list of teams the Patriots are ahead of in the AFC. So that is concerning. As far as blaming it on Zoom, Brandon's beloved Tennessee Titans might as well have been, working remotely for a month, and they kicked the snot out of the Bills, and then they just won a game against the Texans. So I don't know if that's a total fair thing to blame it on. Cam clearly was rusty, and the Broncos tried to give him the game, letting Drew Lock throw the ball late. It made no sense, but the Patriots couldn't quite get it done. I am just very, very quickly, Wilds, I have one question for you before Brandon goes. Was this the JV Patriots or the varsity Patriots? Because you made it clear only certain Patriots losses count. So is it the JV or the varsity Patriots? Tell me. I just need to know how to evaluate the win for Denver. Was it the JV or the varsity Patriots?
This is like the varsity Patriots, but when they're like, it's like when they play the teachers. It's like, are we playing? Like all of a sudden we got to play the team. We got to play the basketball team.
So eventually, Brandon, we'll get to Patriot games that count again. Hopefully, they're not mathematically eliminated from the playoffs by then. But eventually, Brandon, we'll get back to Patriot games that count.
Under 500, Wilds.
Yeah, let me continue the Ask Wilds a Question thing. So, Wilds, do you have stock in Microsoft, Teams, or Google Meets, any of that? Because you definitely killed You crushed Zoom. Like, do you have any stock out there?
Golly.
Does practice, was cool.
Honest to God, no jokes aside.
Me too.
Gronkowski was like, hey, we started practicing, we started feeling good, and I knew we was going to have a big game. Patriots haven't practiced. So you can sit here, you guys are the players, yes. Does practice not matter at all?
Well, this is what I would say. This is the first time that I think we have seen COVID-19 affect the win-loss column. Coming into this year, we were all intrigued about, you know, the Bill Belichick Patriots. Who were they going to be? What was the identity? Would they be good? Would they not be good? Is the rebuilt year? So seeing this team come in, play the Seattle Seahawks the way they did, and then play the Chiefs the way they did without Cam, we were all excited about this team. So how do you go from being one of the premier teams in the league and one of the most exciting teams in the league to now losing to the Denver Broncos? And I still don't know who their quarterback is.
I'll say this. This probably was a game where I think Cam should have probably poured it down a little bit more. You know, being out of sync and not being in rhythm. You know, that's the real thing at the quarterback position. And you know that as the game continues to have a creative flow. So, you know, even with Josh McDaniels, you know, put him in some different positions and probably take advantage of the things that the Denver Broncos wasn't doing so well, and put the offense in a position where he could find a rhythm and run the football effectively. And I think they should have leaned on the run game a little more. They just was out of sync this entire game. And it was just one of them days. I know I've had days like this where nothing goes right, can't complete a pass, can't move the ball consistently, you settling for field goals. Yep. You know, you have those type of days in the National Football League.
Hey.